Hey there, and
Ready
welcome
to
to
roll.
episode 24 of Drawing with Jack. What's up, Jack? Long time no see. It's
Yo, 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 what's
I'm
up?
excited for today. How have you
Yeah,
been?
I've been good, man.
Good.
I'm glad to be back with you,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Caleb. I'm glad that you are back. I hope everything, went well with everything that was going on with you while you were gone.
It was fantastic.
While you were gone, we got page to basically to a point where I feel like,
You
it
got
needs your direction to finally be done, but it is 92 to 95% of the way there.
Yeah, thanks to you. I did get to catch up on the podcast, and we're gonna have some updated ones. So by the time people see this, they'll have no idea if there was even a hiccup where I was gone for a little time. And so yeah, like I know you guys made some risky quote unquote decisions while I was gone, but I think it looks fantastic. Cox in space. I mean, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Aaron's not here yet, but this is why I love this guy is because sometimes his brain will like kick out the like most perfect gem if you prod it
Hmm.
right. And like you're like, dude, what we put in here, I like absolutely great call. Also, the blue suit is my new favorite thing. And can we do it on page one?
Yeah, that's definitely something that we can get done today,
Because yeah,
right in front of everyone and everything,
nice.
whatever
Yeah, and
rhymes.
then
Sorry,
by
I'm
and
wiping my
large,
screen off right now.
as long as you're happy with it, you were right. I think you said in one of the podcasts, I think when Aaron was there, is that there's a couple of things that I was gonna want to look at with you. And then
Uh,
if you're cool with doing that this episode, then we'll have this page totally done, and we'll get to start the page that I've been excited about after
yeah.
the Pussy Paradise panel, of course, is getting to see Luna for the first time because we actually have cast Luna, we believe. So we're
Right.
all very excited about it. And since she's here, I mean, she won't be here presently, but she's going to be doing a reading. You'll get to hear her voice as well, so she can influence the look of the character.
Sure.
So yeah, we're all fairly excited. We met with her um, on Saturday. Kate Leo, if you guys haven't
Yeah.
checked her out, she will be up
Why do I
along
have all
with the
these
other cast
different pages? Yes,
up
this
on
is the final page.
coxandSpace.com.
This is the final page, right? Yeah, this is the final
Yeah,
page.
this is the final page because the muted carpet and like that beige overtones. Yeah, and I think the blue's gonna pop. Do you remember a long time ago, like almost in our first meeting, I was like, Richard is blue and Peter is green. Um,
Uh,
and yeah, like so when you guys turn this way, I had totally forgotten about it until I saw it in that episode, and I was like, oh hell yes, like that is hell
I'm
yes.
just like looking at this page again, and I mean, like like Richard there on in the third panel. Like Richard looks so good there in the third panel. I'm
Oh yeah, I
sorry,
mean, yeah,
Richard looks fucking
there's
great in that
definitely a
third
reason
panel.
to pat yourself on the back. We didn't use that panel yet. Yeah, I mean, Jack, the third panel there is the reason that you're on this project, is because I wanted it something like that for like the presentation of Cox in space. Because I knew that if I was like, here, this is the thing that we want, you'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a sick angle with it. You know what I
You
mean?
really do get the feel,
You know
like
what I
I
mean?
mean, yeah, yeah, like you get the cartoon, like it almost feels like it's animated for a second. If you look
Yeah,
at it, it's
yeah.
like I don't know. Anyway, I'm
It's
tooting my horn too much right now.
well,
I'm
no,
sorry.
dude, like all your art for me has always felt like that way. Like it looks like it's about to be prodded into action, right? And so that's
Yeah,
why it's like, in my opinion, perfect for animation. And like why I'm super excited that you've been like working with us on the show is because I mean this show and this project is because when people do see that,
that's
especially
kind
I
of
mean you
fun.
saw it when it started to move. It's not perfect yet, but like it's fun because like your character's moving is just like it's fun to see. So
Hmm.
the people who are listening in the future who are like, oh yeah, we should get these guys to do this show. Just know that it's because like we gotta have Jack aboard because it's exactly his style is what we wanted to be doing with this show.
Mm.
Back 100%.
I I think you guys have a really great you know project here, and I'm glad that you asked me to be a part of it. I'm
Dude, well,
flattered,
it's
man.
just really fun, right? I mean, that's the thing about Cox and Spades. It's just a fun project to be a part of.
Yeah, it really is. Where do I
mean,
have?
when do you
Oh,
get
there's more
to
stuff down here.
draw
There,
a
no,
chicken yelling into a
no.
love
Where do
drive?
I have? Where do I have his suit? His suit gray is like somehow underneath. It's in panel one somewhere,
Weird.
or no? It's probably in panel three. So remember when I was doing my big like split up of things? It looks like maybe I didn't split up. But no,
Guy,
that would be above. That would be above.
there was a
So
lot of things to split up. I mean, every little thing in that picture is a thing. So those of
it's
you who
true.
are looking at home or are illustrators, of course, comment about how hard it is or to keep a project organized. And then also, for those of us who have a hard time keeping projects organized, because if you watch my video edits, they like watch me edit video, like it's so scattered and all over the place, and you really should not take like I feel ashamed if anyone ever has to come after me and like re-edit my stuff because like it's just so scattered. But
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
have any
no.
tips or tricks on how you are not scattered and how good you are at it, because I know there's a
It's
few
on
of you
the
out there. There's some
darks.
Virgos out there who
It's on the darks.
do their business.
It's
But
on
this is
the
why, one of
okay.
the reasons why drawing with Jack is fun because you get to see what it's actually like to like work on projects.
It's it's on the dark. So I'm like, what am I thinking here, kids? Kids, this is not the way that you organize a this is not the way you organize a project. So what am I gonna have to do now, right? Gonna have to cut this little bastard out of here like so. Sorry to have to let you all know that this was born out of a lock.
We got this.
That's why it's
And,
on.
and this
That's why it's on a.
bastard.
That's why it's on a layer with like another thing. And then I'm gonna have to like cut it out and preserves its image. So now this is at multiply 55%. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rasterize this layer, right? Can
Rasterize
I
the
rasterize
bastard.
this layer? Why can't I rasterize this layer? That's weird. I guess it is already rasterized.
That'd be my guess, but
Anyway,
I haven't
well, I
used
guess we'll leave.
Photoshop
Well, but
in
see, that's the
forever.
thing. Now we have to change. Now we have to change the color. Here, we'll try introducing because I remember I did this with a. Yeah, I did this with
There's
one of
like a
these.
color.
So
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was
we'll
fairly
put
impressed.
it
I was
in
like,
here.
also like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's exactly why we want to do a podcast, is so people can see you do stuff like that when they're like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I've seen it in that video. Uh, I try to call them
Did
out
I
in
get it?
chapters.
Did I get
It
it?
doesn't seem to do it, but I think there's something like weird about that. It's also not a color. It looks like it's white.
Yeah, there's like there is like a thing where it doesn't like studio line here. I'm gonna like this is gonna mess with the stream for a second.
Dude, but yeah, Pussy Paradise and like them on the beach. It's just a fun visual. Like again,
Source and destination documents are the same. What are you talking about? This is clearly a different document. You slut. Oh, wait a minute. It did. No, it carried it over. It
oh,
carried it over.
cool.
It did it. Sorry. Yeah. Let me get this. So see, it changed this open preview projector. That didn't used to be called that. It changed the name of that from full screen projector to
Gotcha.
open preview projector. And I'm like, did you really have to try to?
You said that was on an update.
No, see, I'm an idiot. See, I'm an idiot. Everybody, I'm glad that we were all able to see. So, like, the reason that that didn't work is because I copied over this and tried to drop it onto itself instead of dropping it onto this. There we go. what I was trying to do. Just get that
Nice.
layer in there. Now I'm
Sometimes
gonna set this
just
back. I am sorry
one step at a
that I
time.
have to do this. I have to do this back and forth like this, man. So wait, this is in panel 2? Yeah, cool. So I just turned that layer into a clipping mask for, okay, but see, it's not, so let's get opacity. How did it change to vivid light? Hold on, hold on. Oh, no, this is on, okay. I want to change this.
Yeah, the silver suits.
That's right.
I mean, I was sold on for sure until they became blue, and then I was like, oh yeah, it can't be anything but that. Yes,
I have to, let's see, it's perfect.
it's gonna
Now,
affect the animation, but we'll figure out a way to work around that.
oh,
Yeah,
shit,
because we've already rolled
sorry.
out some, and I've edited a bunch with this silver suit, but it's okay. We're still early in the process.
I still a silver suit. You asked me if I was ready to go. I actually had stopped my Wacom tablet service because sometimes it interferes with my gaming.
Oh,
Um,
fair. Okay.
it'll just like
Logan
glitch. It'll
Gifford,
just like glitch
welcome to Drawing with Jack.
again.
Sometimes you gotta wait on me, bro. Sometimes, I might
Uh,
just be a little fashionably late,
yeah,
but here I am. How you doing, Mr. Jack? How you doing, Mr. Skipper?
I'm doing good,
My
man.
name is
Dude,
Logan. Welcome to Drawing with Jack.
Yeah,
we are doing great. I'm doing
dude.
great. I don't know about
So
you guys. I'm doing great.
the good news is
Man,
for today's episode is that we are probably about to finish page 2, which
We're just adding the blue suit to page 1 right now, and I'm taking too long doing it, but
there's no time limit,
that's
right?
neither here nor there.
We'll be meeting again on
Yeah.
Thursday. But then the choices that they picked a blue suit. We're moving to a blue suit for the spacesuit so that it shows up
okay.
better. The chicken shows up better in that suit. Um,
Right, yeah.
did you see it on page 2? Did you get to check that out? I know you weren't on that episode, but yeah,
No,
they added
I had
space
not.
to the coxswain space. Oh, it hasn't been uploaded either. I don't know if you have access to the file that I did, so that wasn't even a fair question. But yeah, no, it's popping. It really makes, you know what I mean? Like when we're about to sell toys with these figures, it makes you want to buy a toy of Richard. So
Yeah.
you just have to. I mean, marketing is gonna be, half of sales, if not more. So,
Are we gonna be able to market Cox in space like that though?
well, I mean, so 80% of the toys bought last year were for adult purchasers. So there's like a large adult toy collector. They don't play
There
with
are
them.
man children.
Yeah, they just, well, yeah, male and female. They just like to have figurines.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if we should call them man children. It feels like we're almost making fun of them for liking our
well,
product,
yeah, and that's
which
what I was
I don't
trying to
think we
steer
should.
away from. Like there are a lot, like there are collectors, and collectors are a thing of people who like
Exactly.
shows. You know what I'm talking about? Because people who like, say, Rick and Morty, for instance, they want to have the merchandise and they want to have like the the figures.
Right.
Yeah.
Aaron Cosbiel, speaking of our head of marketing, Aaron Cosbiel has been
Holy
able to
shit!
cast all of the people that we need for the upcoming episode that we're going to be reading on Monday night. So, if you guys are listening, of course, if you're listening right now in the Discord, you guys will know about it. But the people who will be listening after will probably be late to hear it. But look for it because he's gotten
Yeah, I do feel
everyone.
like
We have a bunch
by
of
the
men and a bunch of
time
women
our
who are joining
listeners
us.
listen to this, it will have already taken place. But this past Monday, I guess I could say there was a read through for episode 2 of the Cox in Space. So make sure you look out for that. We plan on having a huge cast of voice actors helping us with that. And I say huge in relation to the regular, 3 to 4 people that we have.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we actually have more people than we do parts.
Right. So it's going to be exciting to just have some people there to be able to, maybe fill some roles or, maybe even read for some parts that we even didn't think, you know, uh, could
yeah,
not be
no,
played by
yeah.
us.
Aaron has done a really fantastic job in getting some people together, and they're going to be there. So
Absolutely.
it'll be fun. We're going to get some casting together tomorrow night. Hopefully
Okay.
at the beginning of it, since we've already finished the episode, which I'm super stoked about. Uh, and then I want to make sure the machine is set up, although I don't know if I'll be able to do it. So I'll at least try to have the first scene set up because that's what we'll need to do. But so that's awesome. And we're finishing up this page. I mean, all these things. Also, Aaron, you didn't get to hear me say publicly that thank you guys for pushing ahead while I was gone, both you and Logan. And the choices that you made on these suits are fantastic. Like once I saw Richard in blue, I needed him to be in blue in these spacesuits. It like just totally makes sense. So good call out. And then Logan hasn't seen the Cox in Space on the next page when they sing their song, but I think you'll be pretty excited about it, Logan. No rush, Jack,
Oh, yeah.
because I know that you're doing this. It's extra work because we already said we'd finish this page, but um, I do support it. So,
Awesome.
in other
So
news, um, we do have an episode that will be before this one that I finally got to catch, which is called "Wrestling is Fake." It might not be called that if you guys disapprove, but I don't know if it's actually going to make like the YouTube censorship because that the footage that's shown in it may have been owned and copyrighted by, whoever owns the WWE now. But
Yeah.
oh shit, I
I
didn't think
was
of that.
super glad to have
I don't
experienced
know
that moment
exactly
with
what we
you
talk
guys.
about in
It's a
that
YouTube
episode.
video though. I mean, isn't it? I mean, there's fair use.
Yeah, I think
There's
so.
a
Y'all, so I think it falls under like if there's enough commentary to be like there's a commentary video that it might fly under the radar, but we've also been
yeah.
getting hit pretty hard for like just making sure that they're like you need to delete
I
this part
mean,
of the
it's
video
not
because
even
it's
the whole. I mean,
copyrighted.
first of all, if they did give any kind of, because you can basically challenge anything. You're not wrong to be concerned because you can challenge anything. But
Well,
if
I
they
think
do
it's
try to
hilarious.
challenge it,
Uh,
it's not even like we're rebroadcasting the thing. It's a YouTube video.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah, like
we're
we're talking
we're
about the
on
content
YouTube.
of,
Yeah, we're on
yeah,
YouTube. Like this video that you're watching is on YouTube, and the video that we are watching on the video that you are watching is on YouTube that you could just decide to go to right now and watch
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
its
right.
entirety if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
Secondly, it's
Commentary.
not even in its entirety. So it's like we're not even showing that YouTube video in its entirety. We're like skipping through parts and showing like highlights and stuff of just like rewinding parts and show. I mean, I don't. Anyway, like if they do
It's
give
a,
you any heat, it's bullshit. But anyway, yeah.
It
We're
is
pretty strict.
it is fair enough. I totally absolutely agree with you. If it does fall under that, the audience is going to miss out.
yeah,
Although, I can post it up on your Patreon. You guys can become Patreon fans, and you get to watch the whole thing. You get to watch the commentary of what is a legendary match. So by this
Dude,
time, it's the video's out,
that
so
Hell
we'll
in a
know.
Cell, baby. That Hell in a
Dude, like
Cell. I
so the
mean,
episode's called, wrestling is fake, but then you watch like they're just like going at it. I've never seen that clip. So my
yeah,
reaction to I was like, holy crap. And Logan's giving us the historical play by play, and I'm like, oh my God. Like the tooth is in his nose. And I'm like, hold that like,
yeah,
okay, that
and
was
yeah.
you
okay.
And he
I
didn't know it first
I
either.
had
He did
never
not
seen it
know that
before.
this
Like
was.
that
Really
review
didn't
for
know
me,
that.
I was like, Jack, you were like, oh yeah, you need to see this clip, and then you like fast forward, oh, you need to see this clip because you guys knew what it was about, and I was like, yeah, that was definitely like that was a great summary
Oh
of
yeah,
that because like yeah, I mean, wrestling is a hardcore sport. I mean, the fighting is definitely fake, but like
Definitely.
the amount of
yeah.
gymnastics it takes, it's and pain tolerance
Very
it takes
athletic. Yeah,
to do that game. Yeah, no, all those to those guys, and it should be recognized as a sport so they can get fucking health insurance for God's sakes, because.
yeah.
For real, dude.
Yeah,
What the
like
fuck?
he was like, no, it's entertainment, and then didn't give them a way to like actually take care of themselves is a sham. Like that dude is a terrible,
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
terrible
Vince McMahon.
person.
Fuck Vince McMahon, who is
But
the Department of Education
yeah,
secretary right now. They both
and
suck.
also
I do think it's funny that
that in
we
politics.
live in like this clownish timeline where like there are multiple people currently in the White House that have taken a Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, more people should take Stone Cold Stunners. I mean, it's fun to
So
do
so
safely.
Logan, do you know why I like walked away from my life in and like ended up in Louisiana?
Um,
Have I ever told you this
so
story?
we met around that time in your life, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah, but
So
do you know
and I
why?
no.
Because I believed at that time that I had fallen into essentially a clown dimension when Trump got elected, and it was my fault that that had happened. Yeah, like
True schizoid brain. What the
yeah,
hell?
Wow.
the John Teeter, like
This
the
is
the
also
guy,
on the darks.
yeah, the guy who like came
What?
back. He was like he claimed to be a time traveler, but he had this like
Mm-hmm.
view of the multiverse, and he said that like it's like the spokes of a wheel, and all the like realities are all like side by side, like two mirrors facing each other, and like it's just like
Right.
a ring round until you're somebody else altogether making different choices, and that's what's happening all the time. He says when you time travel, you actually break out of one of those little spoked areas and you move over to a different spoked area. And so like, you're not actually time traveling at all. What you're doing is shifting dimensions because you're just moving into a multiverse that lines up with your personality. So I got into this thought process that that's what we were doing, say, when we were falling asleep, or when we get distracted, or when we like our imagination is taking a hold of us and we're kind of drifting in that space that's like not really real, but it's like real to us. And then like that's when we shift between like timelines. And so, like on the night of election, the election between Hillary and Trump, I was like kind of there, like dozing in and out. And I swear to you, I felt it like happen. And I shifted into the reality where Donald Trump got voted in. And then I looked down at my phone because it was like early in the morning and it said that like that's what was happening. I was like, oh no, I
No, I'm
did
pretty
it.
sure that didn't happen
I
around 2014, around
I
Gamergate.
shifted it. Was that anyway? So that's
Yeah, we're
yeah,
not going to talk about that.
we're in a clown dimension. And I just want to apologize for making that happen, because I'm perceiving it. You guys are stuck here with me.
No,
But you guys all have your own realities
that's
as to
not
why.
that's yeah, that's
Every person
not
with a
what
brain knows that
happened.
things went
I,
south
I
on
like I
Monday.
totally agree. Like going to like, get sane for a little bit was like the best thing that did happen to me because I definitely don't believe that anymore. But it's just like a fun
That's
fact
good
of my life
because
that, like
we all felt a certain level of responsibility. I mean, it was surreal after Trump was elected, and we all felt a certain
yeah,
level of responsibility and
holy
dealt with it in
shit.
different ways.
Right.
I didn't
Um,
feel responsible. I just did my part and voted. So
You voted
I was
for
like,
well,
I didn't feel responsible
right, right. You're like it just got
because
outvoted.
I did what I could.
I can also say
well,
equally that I did not vote in that election, so I did not feel either way about it. But it felt really weird to watch people make who they voted for their entire personality.
Yeah,
I just
that is a
personally
strange
do
thing.
believe the Benjamin Franklin quote, where after they signed the Declaration of Independence, he said, "You have a country, madam, if you can keep it." Like, I think living in a democracy presupposes that we all have a strict civic duty to uh, at least our local municipalities' politics and what sorts of things transpire there and how we like move people in and out, like the officials that we move in and out of there and how they are like
Right.
answerable to us and it's not, like I don't know, like I just don't agree with the whole idea of it just being like, oh, I did what I could and that's all I can do. It's like you have to like I don't know, like I think you have to try to be like involved at least a little bit if you want to expect any kind of sort of like change, like the sort of change that happened from like World War era to the 1970s, like expansion of industry and highways and how the war like created all these industries that we like tried to make thrive, not just in like financial economic choices, but also in like choices of like, yeah, we're going to build a bunch of highways because we want everybody to have an automobile. And just like those choices that we made,
Consumerist,
even if
yeah.
they are ridiculous, yeah, and not like they weren't like great choices, but you know, like I don't think they were great choices because a lot of those roadways, especially like around New England area, like went straight through like minority neighborhoods, like kicked out a
Yeah,
bunch of.
Like, I mean, not surprisingly, and it is
infrastructure has
unfortunate.
been a
Yeah,
major.
people made those decisions. Like people got together, business leaders got together, like people got together and they made the decision that these are the things that are important and these are the things that to like not let up. And you know, just like me for myself personally, I see like all of these companies and stuff like making choices now where it's just like, well, elections have consequences, and so like we're giving up like DEI initiatives, we're giving up LGBTQ initiatives, we're giving up like this, that, and the other thing, immigrant stuff, science, and just being okay with that and not being like we're going to get together and we're going to make a choice that these are the things that we care about and that we are going to like actively be trying to elect into our body politic. I mean, you know, I don't know, like I feel like that's the kind of responsibility and duty that we should have like as people that are citizens of a democracy versus like being citizens of like a monarchy or being citizens of a fascist society or a dictatorship, or I don't know, these things where it's just like, yeah, we're basically saying we don't care and we just don't, like, you just do whatever you want, and as long as you don't fuck up the country and like we don't care what you do or what you do to us or what you're disappointing people or whatever.
Happy late 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah.
By the way, remember what the holiday is about. We regained our independence from a tyranny. And y'all know what that was for? What was it, like a 4% tax on tea? Do y'all know we're getting taxed on our income these days?
What?
Yeah, because we're used to getting walked on nowadays. That's what it is.
No, don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
Don't blame me. I don't vote is what I said. But also too, I feel like I'm not a very politically charged person because if I don't vote, I don't feel like I reserve the right to bitch either way. If I don't participate, I don't feel like I have the right to bitch in either one outcome.
But that's the thing,
Well, it's like,
is we actually we're obligated to participate
I
because
definitely believe you are, but I really do believe that like forces that were set against, they're supposed to be set against themselves, like to be checked and balanced by our supposed not supposed, but like we call the founding fathers, like these people that we look up to, like how like the forces that they're supposed to balance are the forces that are going to come if people decide to check out of like American democracy. Like if you decide to check out of American democracy, the thing that is going to fill that vacuum of people who used to like read up on those sorts of things and like be involved in like formed clubs and groups to like be watchdogs of like local politics and stuff like that, for better or worse, the place that the vacuum that is going to leave and what's going to be eaten up by that are going to be people who want to make sure that nobody ever has an interest in that stuff ever again or gets educated towards that ever again, and like trying to keep people ignorant of how they have any kind of sway or say over those sorts of things. Like you see this already with like voting districts, and voting rights, and it's going to definitely like creep into civil rights. I mean, like it basically already has with. Anyway, I don't. I like again, like making it. It's like the idea that it is political is like so weird because it's like these are the things that the country is literally founded on. Is like making sure that like some of these pressures remain because they keep greed and avarice and human depravity away and busy with having to deal with like the labyrinthine Byzantine like fucking structure of checking and balancing all that shit by the public and the media and journalists and like all these other like fourth state things like being involved and supposing that they are involved. And people have been doing a lot of work to make sure that people don't give a shit and like nobody's involved. And the only thing that can replace that is people rising up and either saying, hey, listen, you all are sheep and I control you all, or all of those people deciding that anarchy is great and we're just going to tear down the system and like build a new one on top of its ashes. Like, So it's just like, I don't know, like, what do people want? Do people want to continue to have the kind of idyllic lifestyle that they had during their childhood, or do they want to like roll the dice on anarchy? It's just like, I don't know. Like, I personally would rather just be involved in my like local politics. Like, I just personally would rather like waste a few afternoons like going to some city council meetings. But it's just me. It's just me. I liked my childhood. My childhood was okay. I think we can make it better for sure.
And Jack, coming from an average, everyday, normal guy who was born in 1996, might be a little bit out of your age gap, but childhood wasn't exactly idyllic. 9/11 happened when I was in like second grade.
Yeah.
So it's like one of my, like that and like the Bush Gore election where they had to do like 3 recounts in Florida or whatever the fuck.
Oh my
That's
God.
like some of my first recounts of American politics. So
Yeah,
I've never
and
taken this super seriously. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Again, that's like definitely a nice outlook for a lot of people that would rather have the American government like as it was like directly after World War II. You know, when like fucking and like after the Great Depression, like after the first time the rich people fucked up the economy, they were being taxed like nearly like they were being taxed in like the 40% range. They want to make sure that politics seems so fucking backwards and boring to you and like such a fucking game that it's just like unapproachable and it's like too much to like even want to like think about because the
yeah,
more that or the less that you think about it and the less that you want to be involved in like all that bullshit. Because dude, all that bullshit after that and like how sensational politics has become, like it's like a media empire feeding frenzy. And again, like that's by design. Like people have been doing fucking think tank bullshit, Koch brother bullshit, with yeah, like
Well,
dude,
we all
That means like 2 or 3 things.
I mean, dude, if you look up some of the fucking lobbying the Koch brothers have done over the years, it would definitely fucking shock you. The stuff that they've said.
Lobbying should have been illegal years and years ago.
Why can't I get to this right
oh
color
geez.
But
blue?
then
I mean, it was meant as a good
what?
thing, but it definitely was hijacked by people
Where
with
will you
money.
congregate in front of a theater?
What?
What are we talking about?
No,
I
I was trying to
heard
make a joke,
Lobbying,
I'm sorry.
lobbying
No,
should have
it's
been
fine.
illegal since like the 80s.
Well, this is all I'm saying. Is like, you know, well, we can disagree about politics all day. I love it when people disagree with my politics because I definitely am a fucking idiot and I can't think of
And it's not even that I'm
things.
disagreeing with you, Jack. It's just
Oh
that
no,
like
no.
I
See, this
enjoy
is
I enjoy the conversation at this particular point. Like I
well,
said, join with Jack. I don't think any of these podcasts should be political. But I mean, you know what? Sometimes that's the way that this podcast leans because it's interesting, especially
well,
in what we're going through in what I would call modern history.
Yeah,
all adults
whether or not
should
you
be
like to
like,
be a part of it, politics does affect all of us.
yeah,
Right.
it affects everything,
Exactly.
Yeah,
and like, you know, responsible adults should be not only okay with that idea, but they should be trying to, you know, move forward. Like that idea should have an ellipsis on it. Like we should be able to move forward with like what it means as people to be able to disagree politically, but also coexist as human beings. The way that fucking animals do. Dumb fucking animals can disagree completely about all types of fucking shit and don't give a fuck. They can
right.
disagree on what to eat, where to live, how to sleep, sleep standing up, sleep on your fucking belly, sleep hanging upside down off the fucking seat. Like they can just like animals can be so fucking different and coexist because it's just like fucking it's in the best interest of everyone. The story of the bear and the beaver, how the bear and the beaver meet each other on a fucking log, and it's a log where there's just enough space for one of them to pass at a time. And what happened? Like this big ass fucking bear waits for the fucking beaver to cross. Why? Because even though the bear could fucking probably just one shot the beaver, if the bear doesn't one shot the beaver and takes the bite, he's going to be weaker and will thus probably be killed himself. And so everyone is able to get the fuck along because they understand that it's within everybody's best fucking interest to just not give a fuck. But
Human symbiosis gives way to politics.
for some reason, human beings are so fucking egotistical and prideful that they can't put their politics aside to just like do what's in the best interest of everyone. And it's just, it's one of the things that really pisses me off when it comes to like politics, because it's like there's so much money now in the idea that we can't coalesce on fucking fiscal and like liberal like morals, like liberal morals and conservative like fiscalness. Like those two things can't fucking coexist. It's just like so much. It just the false division is just so angering because
I believe you could do it. Like you
Yeah.
just have to like make a budget that also includes universal health care. But you do have to write that tax code first so that you can pay for it.
Yeah, like you basically
Right.
have to just do what's good for the most amount of people.
Right. Get the money from the
pay
top
for
and
it
put
by
it back to
taxing
people.
rich people.
Exactly. That's where the money's at.
And as soon as you want to tax rich people, Republicans are going to be like, no, but the billionaires are going to help us. The billionaires are going to
They will if you get them
create
taxed.
jobs and stimulate the economy. And we love
never
Elon
have.
Musk.
Never
and we
have
love
been
Peter
proven
Thiel.
wrong.
And we love Mark Zuckerberg.
No,
Right.
we don't.
I mean, like
No, we
that's it's definitely you just look at the track record. It hasn't happened. They've had 40 years to prove
Yeah.
it. That's two generations. Like that's a long enough time to prove that they can do it. They didn't do it. They do need to pay their dues to society, and just for the only sole reason that an economy needs to move in order to be productive, just like any other cycle in nature. So like when you hold money in one place, it just stagnates. You need to put it back into the economy so it's moving around. So jobs can be made by
Right.
people, right? Like Mark Zuckerberg shouldn't be responsible for making all the ideas that should happen. People should have the ability to fund like Cox in Space, for instance. If you want to, you can go to
Right.
coxinspace.com, just calling it out there. You can join the crew and become a producer, coxinspace.com. But like just for the sake of saying that is that like if we had the funding because we weren't straining because of our jobs and trying to pay our bills, and people would start to do the things, go to Home Depot and have projects, and they get, go to the electronics store and make the types of computers that they want to make, so the money goes down. I think Aaron Cosbill's called it the trickle up economy. Like if you put money in people's
Yeah.
hands, they spend it on things that they need, and that's what funds the economy. So like
Yeah.
a single person with that much money just simply can't spend as much as say a million or a billion people can spend.
Right.
Jackie Haynes, thank you for going back and redoing that first one. Oh, I'm excited to see it
No
up
problem.
in the drive too, because like, god damn you guys. One of my favorite things about creating together is that like we keep pushing it to a greater height than it was before. Like it started out as an idea, but then we all jump on board and start adding stuff to it, and then it becomes like this thing that's like really fun to look at. And I think just the blue suit, for instance, does that. So what a fantastic step forward. One of the things that I thought was cool about you guys getting together without me there is sometimes I get the feeling I'm like, oh my God, is this thing gonna fall apart if I just, can't do it anymore for some reason? And then like even though I was like, at the funeral and I'm like hanging out with family, I like popped into the Discord and saw you guys were like, still pushing it forward. And I was like, hell yes. Like you guys like, you're making the Cox in space. Of course it's gonna keep happening. So anyway, I was excited to see it, even though I couldn't be here.
Cox in space and in my face.
Yep, spreading happiness across the universe.
Again, I'm
Neither
very
here.
very grateful that you guys invited me on.
Yeah, still,
I'm
still
glad to
like,
hear that you're grateful to be a part of it,
Absolutely.
to be
A
honest
great
with you.
idea. I love the idea.
yeah, it's fun.
I don't
Because
trust.
honestly, I feel like this is a project just among us, or I say us, I guess loosely, because me not being like a direct creator of the show, I guess I could say, as far as like coming up with it, but um,
Hey, and
I would
Logan,
imagine that we don't want anybody
Do you mind if I
involved that's
interrupt?
not like. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Because we're switching gears, right, Jack? I will so get back to you for sure, man. Um,
We are. Sorry, I'm having a piece of candy. Yes, we
I
are
got you.
switching
You're good.
gears to
So,
page two.
yeah, what's your
Um,
goal right now? Like just get a game plan.
I want to know what we definitely need to add to make it like finished.
Okay.
Because right
Cool.
now there's just like a few shading and a few like light things. Like you see like the light here and it's how it's like shining on its beak,
Yeah.
and how the light's kind of like there's like another layer of light to kind of reemphasize this one here.
Sweet.
Like we don't really have a lot of that in these
Yeah.
shots. Like there could be like some extra. There's some shading that needs to be added to their beaks in this one. Um, and we really just like I kept the background in this one like specifically like low key so that it just kind of has the idea of everything. But I could add in like I guess I should add in the station there. I should add in the station and the stuff.
Can you
Um,
please? Yeah, that's one thing I was going to ask you for. Even if it's like, I like what you did where it's like code, sort of like simple lines for the love drive. If you do something like just simple like that,
yeah,
just like, those flat colors or some shading like you
yeah,
did.
we'll get
Uh,
some.
yeah, that's 100%. That was, I was like, yeah, because it just, you did such a good job in making the detail on the first one. Like it's just, yeah, people will notice. No, I noticed as a fan.
Excuse me.
Hey, so do you mind if I do a callback to a question that's been bothering me for a while now that I've been meaning to ask you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so in a previous episode, we talked about Aaron's perspective about how much good and how much evil he thought that there was in the world. And a couple of times in that episode, I tried to like hear what your response was to that question. And then as I've listened to it, found out that we never actually did. So here's kind of the
Oh, we
question.
never.
Yeah, because like you like had some like thoughts about it, but you didn't like expound on it. But here's kind of the question like summed up, and it might be wrong or different if you guys want to like measure it. But like, uh, what do you think in the human population through all of human history that we know about? What do you think the percentage of of them are evil people, and or are redeemable people in the whole collective of like human history up to the current day, of course. Is that like a good
Well,
summary of what the kind of the question was, Aaron? Do you remember?
That was a
I
weird
really,
question.
I really feel like there's a very relative definition of what good and evil is that makes
Okay.
it, in my opinion, almost meaningless. I think a lot of people have the
Hmm.
same capacity for good and evil.
Okay.
I think people are driven by certain things that are innate and by certain things that are like out in the world, to behave in a more good or more evil way. And I think that over the course of human history, there's definitely been a lot of evil people that we would call evil
Yeah.
as American, like as Western thinkers, um, but that they um, still operated inside of a structure that they would have thought was totally moral. Um, and I think that's the thing that is the real lesson, is that there's no real moral like dividing line between good and evil over time. Like, you really just have to be like, you really have to know what you believe. Like, there's some people that believe, I don't know. Have you guys ever heard people argue for like sociopathic and like psychopathic thought in like tribal societies, like
Yeah,
how it can become
it
necessary
has
to
been a
like get
trend
rid of sick
recently.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have
It's
you?
weird to hear about, but it's just like it is like an unfortunate truth. Like some tribal societies may have survived because people were willing to just like sadistically kill off, weak people at certain points. Like not throughout the entirety of human history, but
Well,
at like
okay,
certain points where
yes.
like certain tribal societies were an agricultural or agrarian and um whatever. Like yeah,
Well,
sorry.
how is territory won, right? It's led by a person who is savage enough to kill for
You just
it.
hate to think that that is ever necessary.
I mean,
I do. At least.
like, yeah, there's things that were negotiated for, but like again, if you're looking across history, um, most territory is won through waging
Yeah,
war, Unfortunate,
yeah.
true. So I see where you're going with like it seems like humanity has been very evil in the past, and then possible hopeful spin that they're less evil than they were before because we seem to see less of it now. We seem to be less savage than
Well,
we
it's
were.
like, yeah, because it's like a sociopath back then is doing a service to society because people who would have otherwise gotten sick will survive. So it's not necessarily that that person is like, I mean, yeah, like maybe there's some people that had like psychopathic tendencies in one territory. I mean, people make arguments for war all the time. Like I see it less as like a territory winning thing, although you can make an argument for that. I see it more as like they're allowing people that would have otherwise perished from like a sickness or some kind of like other thing that's happening in society where like a culling is required. Um, like they're
Oh, I
making
got you.
that
So
happen sooner
smallpox
so
doesn't
that
spread because they put the kid outside in the cold.
or kill the kids that were sick first
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. I mean,
Interesting. Like you can't look
um,
back.
and it's
Sorry,
just like,
y'all. I'm gonna have to cut out early because my phone is having issues with charging, and this is my only means of communication, not only with you folks, but with almost the entirety of the outside world. So let
Jeez.
me try and get this solved, and if not, I'll have to get myself a new cell phone tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Good luck.
yeah. Good to
Sorry
see
I couldn't
you.
stay for it all, but
That's okay, man.
no problem.
definitely trying to get this solved so I can be a part of future episodes for sure as well. So
So
you
yeah,
boys have a great night.
you
You will
too.
be
I'll
missed,
talk to you
Logan.
soon.
Be well.
Y'all be safe, fellas. Godspeed. And
Godspeed. Nice.
So
Oh, his name's
then you say, like, let me try to simplify the question a little bit because the definition of good and evil, I see the tack you're taking. You said Western and moralistic. And this is the line that I'm drawing, and that good are things that build up community and keep people healthy, and bad are
uh-huh.
things that destroy community and human bodies and stuff like that. Um,
Okay.
so which, obviously there's this like, in the case where you're like saying justifiable war, you say sometimes it's necessary to shoot a person who's breaking into your house because that's the only way that they can be stopped. So,
Right.
you could say, is that good in that measurement or is that bad in that measurement because somebody got hurt?
Right. I mean, I wouldn't judge whether a person is good or bad just because they broke into a house one time.
Right. Yeah,
Like
exactly. Same.
I would definitely also like there would have to be a moral there would have to be a moral judgment on the response from the community too, because there's reasons why people break into houses. Like no one's breaking into houses because they're just like very few people I would say are breaking into houses just because they're like fucking bored, truly.
Right, right. Yeah,
Um
exactly.
uh so, I would definitely be looking to see like what the response was from the community to that person breaking into the home. I would definitely want to take a look at why the person felt they needed to break into the home in the first place. And I would definitely need to see like if they hurt anyone. Like if someone's breaking into homes and just hurting people, funny game style, like, I mean, obviously that's a completely different thing. And it's like, if those
Right.
evil people exist, yeah, like, I don't think those evil people exist in droves, but I think people can be pushed to that extreme. I think that capacity exists within a lot of people. So, I mean,
So your argument is that people are very capable of being pushed to a destructive path. That everyone has
yeah.
that capacity to a certain degree. And so, okay, gotcha. Um, so everybody has it. And there's certain people who they just have a more propensity to it. It's either a practice or an ingrained thing with them. Is that kind of along the lines?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's like it can be something that just comes naturally, like some people's natural temperament, or if they are injured and have a problem with their brain, could just be angry, and
Right,
violent.
right,
Those things happen. Does that make a person evil? That's like just like a whole other question. I mean,
right.
um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
so
like, yeah,
as I've watched a lot of true crime, and the true crime that I like are the ones who like go explore the personality of the person who did the crime and what their life was like.
gotcha.
And one of the things that you notice a lot is the kids, people who grow up to hurt people often have been hurt quite a bit. And so their
Right,
response is to attack the world in one way or the other. There's some people who are just like
yeah,
arrogant and they don't believe that other people should exist outside of their existence. And so they treat people like, they're NPCs or whatever. That's like another common one
right,
that has nothing to do with upbringing. Um, but
right.
yeah, so like it can be like a learned behavior, this lenience towards evil. Um, do you think when people start to break towards evil, it's a possibility for them to come back? Either one of you guys could weigh in on this, but I would like to hear what Jack has to say.
Redemption is a powerful concept that is a core American concept for sure. So I definitely believe people can come back from evil. Um, I
You think,
think behavior is ultimately learned.
okay, you don't think people start out with personalities?
Um, I think there's a primordium of personality that develops. I think people are inclined one way or another to certain feelings. Whether or not I feel like a person can be judged, because again, like, when I was a kid, I used to love stomping on ants, and I had to have a father pull me aside and tell me, like, hey, the, you know, God made those things. Can you make one of those things?
Ah,
Oh, you can kill them, can't you? And like get me to realize like what I was doing. The behavior was great. It was rewarding. I felt powerful. I felt like I
right.
was, like killing shit.
Hmm,
But it was terrible. And when my dad saw it, he let me know.
that's
And
good. Yeah, that's good.
I like those are the sorts of things that I think about. Like I'm not like a big religious believer, but I
Hmm.
understand what people mean when they say there by the grace of God go I.
Yeah,
Because if I wasn't lucky in certain ways, like I could have easily been a much more terrible person. And I know that. And I
much
don't
more, right.
hate myself for that or think there's something wrong with me because of that. It's just like I was lucky to get that instruction. And that's why instruction is so important. Education is so important to let people know what their possibilities are, what brings about the best outcomes, and how easy it is to accept that part of yourself, or how not easy it is to accept that part of yourself so that you can know what kind of person you are. Are you a
Yeah,
person that wants to be out there like killing shit? We can get you in the military. Like, we got wars for you to fight. We can
we
get you
got
killing shit.
we got worse for you
Let's at
to
least
fight.
try to make it as moral as possible and start from there instead of
Right,
like starting with, well, boys will be boys. What are you gonna do? Like, and
right.
it's just like, no.
No, that I
Excuse
mean
me.
that is really cool. They absolutely right. Like, we need to exist together as a community because older people who are around younger people can help them grow up to be more sensible because they've already gone through it and they care about them,
Right,
right? And so they want them to
right.
like avoid the pitfalls that they have seen in other people. Um, and so like that's yeah, that's really cool that that's the case. I believe that it should be more like that. Um, I know you guys both love cartoons. Do you, if you could live in any cartoon universe that exists, what would be the one that you'd want to shift into as like a parallel dimension? Aaron Casbill.
Oh, many good ones. Uh,
The good ones.
Animaniacs comes to mind
Of course,
just
I
because
should have
it's
guessed that
standard
for you.
cartoon logic, like
Okay.
standard WB cartoon logic that any person would be able to sort of like recognize that as a cartoon you get cartoon powers.
Oh,
Um,
right, right, of course. Yeah, you can
as,
stretch, you can be
as long as
squashed flat.
you're zany and it's for the point of silly silliness and zaniness.
I mean,
Um,
absolutely, right?
and I
As
commend
long as
them
it's
that.
funny, it can work.
Uh, yeah, yeah, it's for them. It's for everyone. Like it's a zany thing. So therefore, you get to do it because it's a zany thing.
Right. So would you be one of
Zany.
the Animaniacs, or would you be like just a character that's in the world?
I sort of would have to just be a character in the world because I wouldn't want to replace them. They're icon. It's like, would you replace Bugs Bunny? No, you can't replace
Yes.
Bugs Bunny.
I mean, I want to be
Bugs
Bugs
Bunny is
Bunny.
integral to the universe.
Yeah, but
But
like
you get to
I would
live in the
willingly
universe.
step into his shoes and just like, just be that wise jackass who gets to get away
Straight
with
up
things.
replaces that.
What was that?
Yeah, and you should have always just remember always take that left turn at Albuquerque.
Oh, so no, yeah. Now that I think about it, because I just that just popped in my head. What's the I think I would want to be in the world as Bugs Bunny. Like I would totally just live the cartoons, like not necessarily have free will,
Yeah.
be like drawn by Mel, but like just be like, all right, I'm down, let's do it. Because doesn't Bugs Bunny have like a cartoon where he talks to the creator, like he's like messing with the pencil?
That's
Um,
Buster Bunny has that's the pilot of Tiny Toons.
well,
Okay.
that's also a Daffy Duck cartoon. There's a Daffy Duck cartoon where he gets into an argument with the animator, and that's a whole like thing. And I think at the end you find out the animator is Bugs Bunny. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
he gets
that's
to
a
voice
really
his
good
character
Looney
too.
Tune cartoon too. Like that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite Looney Tune cartoons for sure.
So yeah, fun times off on that. I think yeah, I am thinking of the Daffy Duck one. So that is funny. How about you, Jack? What's the cartoon world? Because I know you love cartoons. Uh, so you might be like mash up several that you like, or rules from different places. But what's your if you're like now like
Damn
instantly in that world?
cartoon.
Yeah.
The cartoon that I would go into, man. See, and as this comes on, uh, Sonic Boom from Sonic ciiv comes on by the Sonic team. I used to love that Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, man. Like I used to wake up early and videotape it. That's how much I loved that show.
You could.
Um, but I don't know, like what cartoon universe would I want to live in? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are so many like cartoons that I really like where it's just like it'd be like living in this world. It wouldn't be like any different.
Oh, you like
Cartoons
if you're
like
in like
fucking
Daria or whatever, then you're like, yeah, it's just
Dar
like the same world, but like. flat and two-dimensional.
Yeah, like
Could I go to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe just for their pizza? Because their pizza looked phenomenal.
Yeah, you should have it delivered into any universe. Like our cartoon
Yeah,
universe is connected through the multiverse, probably closer than ours are. So
yeah,
whoops.
yeah. Cartoon pizza is just top notch.
It's cartoon pizza is where it's at. Um, it's so hard to say what cartoon universe I would go to. I mean, the I would have to say that if I were to answer, I would have to be able to be what I wanted to be and not like just be like randomly spawned to the universe as just like a random. And I would choose Star Trek, the animated series, and
oh,
I would
nice.
be a uh, yellow shirt lieutenant on the Enterprise, so I
Oh
did not
yes.
get killed.
Oh man, Jack, I
Um,
think you took the cake for the best one. That's a pretty good one.
I mean, that's just because I like Star Trek.
Yeah, but
Let's
then you
not
get
get
to
it
be on
twisted.
Star
It's
Trek
not.
and it's animated, so like,
You um, yeah,
Or heck,
like
Lower Decks. Like
I could. Dude, Lower Decks is right there.
Lower Decks is awesome.
More
oh
people
wow.
get stabbed in Lower Decks, though. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like
Yeah,
the
but
animated
you
series
can't really
seems
die
safer.
if
Y-
you're high enough level.
It's true. You
Um,
can't really die.
So if you're in a yellow suit, you'll be okay.
Okay, and there is the possibility that you can cross over with um Strange New Worlds.
yeah.
So
Right, fair. Also,
yeah,
fun
I guess I
episode.
would have to choose. I guess I would have to choose Lower Decks.
Lower
Yeah.
Decks.
Plus, they have better technology in Lower Decks than they do in the
Dude,
animated
everything is
series.
so chill in the animated series, though, dude. Like, I would just love the pace of the animated series. Like, everything is just so like chill and low key, low stakes. Like, everything gets solved in a half hour. Anyway,
That's what
you're not.
I was thinking about
Aaron
Spike.
does have a good point with Lower Decks for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Caleb?
Yeah, no, I think it's Bugs Bunny. I do like the idea of the wacky hijinks, but I would like to have like the time off with as Bugs Bunny because like obviously on the show what you see is like the hijinks, the highlights of his life, the stories that he tells his kids, like that sort of thing, the jokes he like brings back about the time that he like messed with people. But like ultimately he's just a trickster god who's like hanging out in the woods and doing stuff. So it would be fairly entertaining just to be Bugs Bunny on his off time. So that
It
would
would be.
be, yeah, that'd be my thing. Because the thing about Bugs Bunny is his powers don't really work unless he's like messing with somebody. So if he ever wants to accomplish goals, he has to kind of like, play games with them. Um, so I don't know if that's like actual lore or headcanon, but the only time we actually get to see it work is, when it's like that.
I mean, Bugs Bunny does have he has plot armor. Like he just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, studio level plot armor.
he has studio plot
Studio
exactly.
level. Yeah, and then the stuff he uses, he can only get away with it if it's funny. So like that's my boy. So that would be my vote.
Yeah.
Although it would be
Nice.
nice
And
to be like in like a sitcom-esque type show like King of the Hill, where you're like, you know what, we're going through trials now, but everything's gonna be fine. Like when you said that,
See, I thought about The Simpsons because The Simpsons does have kind of cartoon level, rules sometimes,
right?
but it's just sometimes. Like I mean, you would live forever in The Simpsons too. Like that's the thing. Like we're talking about immortality with some of these choices, so it's just
That
like,
right?
what do you choose? I wanted to choose The Simpsons. But I'm like, there's probably something to The Simpsons that would really like get to me. Immortality would definitely get to me. Like I
I
would
mean, I
be.
love that part.
You never
No, I
grow
would
up.
Definitely would.
need to die. I would need to die.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
mean, yeah.
excited to take a break at one point where we don't have to like get up and start keep doing stuff. Like not necessarily today, but you know, when I'm so tired I can't do things anymore.
fucking
Aaron, I
notice
cut you
nobody
off.
is picking Woody Woodpecker. Like, can you imagine if one of us was like Woody Woodpecker? Man, I gotta be in the Woody Woodpecker universe.
I mean, I was like, someone who comes on and is like SpongeBob. Yeah, that's gonna be my world forever. I'm like, man, wow, like that would definitely be a level of hell for me.
Yeah.
It'd be too
Garfield
much.
and Friends, unlimited lasagna.
It's not a
Dude,
bad.
Garfield and Friends
Garfield fans would
would
be pretty
actually be
dope.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garfield and Friends would be dope because you would just be a recurring character, dude. When you weren't at John's house, like anytime you would go to John's house, you would feel the overwhelming existential dread of like real human existence. But then when you weren't at John's house, dude, you would just be a cartoon character. Like,
Yeah, you just
I
live
find
yeah.
John to be a relatable character. So, yeah. He like, there's like a sense of style.
Okay.
I have some of those outfits.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Aaron
I guess we do see
Arbuckle,
John from
John Cosbill.
John Arbuckle.
At least now he's dating. He's finally dating that veterinarian, so that's good.
Yeah,
I'm
He's
happy
dating
for
the
him.
veterinarian? I see.
Yeah.
I'm not up on my Garfield lore. I don't know.
Yeah, like it happened maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago, something like that. I don't know.
Good for John putting himself out there. You know, it's hard to do after a while. I subscribe to the headcanon that the reason that Garfield hates Mondays is because it's the day that John leaves him alone. And he just hates being left alone. Because that would be the only reason he'd know it was Monday. Because, you know, him and John, they spent 2 days together. And then, you know, he's like, oh, God, I hate Mondays. Because, like, all he has to do is, like, sit at the window, wait for John to come back.
They've been dating since July of 2006.
Oh, wow. They're
long
like,
after I stopped reading.
are they, yeah, they're still just dating? Or are they like, I guess time moves in a
They're still
different way.
dating.
Ooh, they're fucking now.
Oh,
Yeah.
they got to second and a half days.
They're gonna have a kid and name him after Odie's old owner.
Oh, they're like married now.
No, they're not. Not as far as I can tell.
Oh, no, gotcha. Okay. Heathens. Motherfucking heathens. Those Arbuckles living in sin.
Those fucking Arbuckles, dude.
Fucking Arbuckles. So, Jack, I don't know if it was from you that I gained an appreciation for Mozart, but there was a point where I did go on a bent listening to Mozart and just learned how fun classical music can be. Yeah, I think at one point you're like, here, listen to all this music. And I was like, oh, cool, that's a lot of music. I'm going to find my way through all of it. And then it would just kind of like put it on shuffle, so like stuff would pop up. But then, like, yeah, just listen to all sort of classics and being like, yeah, it's fun. Like, people have been making fun music for a really long time. I don't know if I like got where my ear was finally okay with hearing, like I'd heard enough music that classical music like was understandable because it's rich. I mean, like the thing about classical music is there's just so many levels of sound that it can be overwhelming if you don't know what you're listening for. But yeah, I noticed you're listening to some Mozart right now, and hell yes, man, that stuff is fun.
Yeah, like I think they have proven that some plants do respond to classical music, like classical music only, maybe. I could be making that up, but I know that I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that there's a kind of like response to classical music. And then of course, famously, TikTok, cows love jazz music. Like cows will fucking cows love jazz music. They also love classical music too, but jazz music you can find videos of cows literally grooving to jazz. Like eyes closed, head rocking, they're like fucking in it. That's like, kind of amazing to me, I would say, because I never thought that you would actually see the inner life of an animal so vividly like that. But
were they like experiencing music?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad we're at the stage in human history where we've created TVs that, cats and dogs can see. Because, I guess
yeah,
at one point, and maybe this is an urban legend, but at one point they didn't have the ability to see those things. But now you can see them like actually entertained by movies, reacting to what's happening on screen.
yeah.
Um, and you're like, oh yeah, they're experiencing something. They've got a world that they're in. My boy,
Right.
for instance,
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
like
that's
lightning and thunder.
like, see, this is where you see artistry come in. You know, fly out.
Hey, if you died and like you became a ghost, would you like
Mhm.
stay to haunt the place, or would you find like another place to haunt?
Uh, I would probably find a new place to haunt myself.
But where would you haunt?
Um, I don't know. Like, I definitely wouldn't haunt this place because I like my roommates.
There, you would want to
Um,
just like chill with them. I mean, it doesn't have to be spooky haunting necessarily.
um, no, I don't think that we would be. I think I don't. I don't know. I don't think that yeah, I don't think that my roommates would be down.
That's fair. They're like, Jack,
Um,
move on, buddy. Um,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, like
Is this
'cause
healthy for you, Jack?
yeah, we love you and everything, but this is not the time or place to be hanging out anymore. Okay, fair. So you can go to anywhere, right? Because now you're a ghost.
Right. How am I not? Because it's 100%, but shouldn't black like?
Aaron, how about you? Where would you haunt?
Mm. I mean, I would. I mean, I wish I could, instead of just haunting, like if I wasn't bound to this planet and I could just like travel through space as a ghost.
Damn, see, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like, do I gotta haunt this planet?
Yeah.
I've been here.
Yeah,
Uh
like if I'm
That's
like,
actually a
oh,
good idea.
I'm
Get
still
off this
alive
fucking planet.
and I don't have a body, I want to see what, yeah, all this time and like all the space looks like. Because there's cool shit out
yeah.
there. It's so big. You could just be like trekking on forever. You'd be like, I just want to go see that star, you know? And you like you get up to you're like, dang, that's really cool. If you have you're not worried about dying anymore. So yeah, that was gonna be my vote. Guys, if you're listening, comment below too if you want to talk about what you would do as a ghost if you were a ghost. Because I'm
Dude, leave the
interested.
planet is fucking
Yeah,
baller.
Leave the Planet is like my highest vote. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm
Me
sure
too.
other people have cool ideas too. So, um,
This is
but
so awesome.
no, I think I do kind of like a tour before I left though, because like I
Sure.
could see like leaving Earth would be like. I wouldn't come back. You know what I mean? There's so much space and you have to travel for so long by the time you get back. I don't think it'd be instantaneous. I think it's like ghost movements or whatever. But yeah, I would kind of like probably see all the people that, I liked and loved just to like high five them or just mess with them one last time. Because messing with people is important and they're gonna miss you.
Sure.
So,
Messing with people is important.
you know, as
That's
a,
how
as
they
a,
know you care.
as it goes. Yeah, like you just like shake something where they're like, "Oh, there he is. That's my boy Skip. He's doing things." No one would do that but my boy. And then they're like, "Okay, cool. I feel less bad. He's going on to go do his thing."
Fill this bag.
Because like, yeah, that's all people want. Like, are you okay? Did you make it to the other side? And you'd be like, "Yep, I broke several plates over it, so I'll
Yeah,
see you later."
you're on the other side of the river Styx.
Yeah, I rearrange your furniture. I'm going to Mars to see what's up there.
Dude, I would leave the solar system if I left the planet. I'd be like,
For
nah.
sure. Where would you go first?
I would probably go to the nearest star and just see what's there. Yeah.
Okay, so like past the sun or like for the sun?
Oh yeah, like way past. Like I mean, I would leave the solar system. Like the nearest
Oh, I'm
star is
sorry.
what, Proxima Centauri.
You said, yeah, you said outside the solar system. I would like to just check out
Yeah,
the sun. Like, obviously, it's not gonna
Oh,
burn you to look at it because you're a ghost, but just like to see
I
how,
know
like,
where all the I know where all the ghosts congregate in the universe.
where's that?
what's that?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus,
no,
you've done it
you just
now.
called it.
Yeah, it's all you. It's been really nice knowing you, Aaron Casbill. I mean, we will share your comedy specials until, VHS stops existing.
That's with you.
So,
That's easy.
hopefully you'll give us an update on the VHS. I mean, the comedy specials. I'm sorry, that was a joke. That was really a bit. I didn't mean to mess that up. Um, do you have this comedy special coming out soon? Hopefully, still some time.
Where do I want to put?
Aaron Casbill, professor of comedy.
What's up?
Do you have a comedy special coming out anytime soon?
He's still editing it. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
Okay,
He's editing somebody else's special first,
cool,
so
cool,
he's working on a couple things.
understandable. Yeah,
Um,
What did I
you're
just take a drink of? No one knows.
okay. This is an important
are
time to take
you in
an ad
Waterworld?
break. It could be anything that would be brought to you by Jack. He can describe the flavor very
Brought to you,
proficiently, and
special flavor brought to you by here.
brought to you by Jack. So this could be your ad break right now if you'd like to sponsor us on Drawing with Jack or any of the Wigwags projects. It's happening with Cox in Space. So Jack's on the stealth right now because we're not endorsing anybody except for the musicians that
No,
we
no,
enjoy
no, 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 definitely not.
until there's money on the table. But Aaron,
Yeah.
What?
so I'm
What?
sorry, got distracted by the ad break. What was it that you were just saying, Aaron?
Oh, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh, geez, you did it again. Now you're cursed, and I'm sorry.
Damn.
You're doubly
Uh,
cursed.
I
Yeah,
did
I
see the
think
musical a couple months ago, and that was really good.
Beetlejuice the musical.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole musical based on the first movie. It was
Did you
quite
saw it
interesting.
live or you saw a film
Yeah,
of it?
yeah. There was like a touring company,
Oh,
so
fun.
I saw it at the local place that touring companies perform at.
That is fun. Oh man. Um,
Yeah.
I told my mom that there was musicals of everything, and she didn't believe me. And then you came on and told her about that Shrek was a musical, and we had a long conversation about it because there are musicals of literally everything. Uh,
Yeah.
so
And if there isn't, we can make one.
yeah, it is becoming more and more a common thing that musicals are working their way back in. They were
Yeah,
before, obviously, but we eschewed them a little bit, but definitely coming back.
they're coming back. There was a musical episode of Star Trek's Strange New Worlds. It
Yep,
was really
totally,
great. I loved it.
totally. Um,
Yeah.
and it is fantastic. I was thinking there's that one of the exceptions because Kate was listing off a bunch of them the other night too. But that I don't think King of the Hill has done a musical episode, but
Oh,
also
really?
would be funny if it is. I'm not an expert on King of the Hill. I have watched, I think, most of all of them, but only in passing as a background noise.
Yeah.
So, like I follow
Yeah.
the plots. Was that?
I don't feel any of those characters are very musical.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly. It would be really funny if they did, because it would be so outside their character, but um, still.
I do wonder if Bobby ever pursued stand-up comedy like he did
I
to in a few of
Well,
the episodes.
I
we're gonna
don't think
find
so,
out
but we're
because
about to
there's
find out.
new episodes. Yeah.
Jake
Those
Mattis,
episodes are good.
who you met when he sat in, I think last week. Um, he is a huge King of the Hill fan. He's with very good podcast, and so I'm interested in hearing his take on it. So maybe we'll have him on the show to talk about the King of the Hill episode after it comes on. Um, so I know it's going to be soon because everyone's been really excited about it. I'm interested asking questions like that. I wonder if Bobby ever did that, but I think he became a chef and has not
Okay.
pursued his dream. He like kind of stayed in Ireland. So
Yeah.
how it feeling,
Yeah, he
guys?
would have had to move somewhere to study to like get into comedy.
Yeah, I
So
don't think he moved down to like Austin, right? It would be interesting if that's what he chooses to do, like maybe gets involved with the mothership down there.
yeah. The Bobby episodes were usually the ones that I liked. Um, I wasn't I wasn't as big into King of the Hill, but occasionally it was really enjoyable.
Um, yeah, totally. Bobby, I mean, we were kids. I was a kid when it came out, so he was the most relatable. Um, so I agree. But like definitely it's a show that you can grow with too, because now I definitely see where Hank is coming from, and the jokes that he's making are really funny. They just went over my head because obviously I wasn't a dad. So the premiere date is August 4th, 2025. So if you guys are wondering, it's we're about a month away from that. Probably when this episode comes out, a few weeks from it.
Nice.
So exciting, right?
Exciting. My roommate is really huge in the King of the Hill, so yeah, I'm
You'll also be watching
pretty
it.
up to date on. Well, yeah, like I know when everything's coming out and everything, because she's all about King of the Hill.
I'm excited to see it too. I definitely want to see what they're doing. A Mike Judge project is always a good time. So, um,
Yeah,
for me, I'm like, yeah, let's see it. You're gonna tell a good story. We're gonna have a good time. Old times, new times. It won't get old because he enjoys the product that he's creating. He makes characters and lets them like live and breathe. Um, so for sure.
for sure.
But yeah, no, I want to hear your take when you see it as well. It looks like
Oh,
it's going to be on
oh yeah,
Hulu
no,
and
I love I love what Office Space. Like I love that movie.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
I grew
yeah.
up on
100%.
Beavis and Butthead, obviously.
Yep.
And I love King of the Hill, though I never got into it as much as like other people did. So it just wasn't like I don't know, like yeah. Anyway, love Office Space, love Beavis and Butthead. Dario was an offshoot, so I kind of consider it to be like a Mike Judge thing that's also good, even though it's not really. It's just like those characters taken with like different people at the helm, which they did a great job. I love Daria. Um, I love Beavis and Butthead Do America. I love that movie.
Right.
So yeah, Mike Judge, always a great time. There's another Mike Judge project I'm forgetting that I like that you didn't know it was the Mike Judge project.
Are you talking about Idiocracy?
Yes, yes,
I mean,
love Idiocracy
how
too.
can you not love Mike Judge for predicting the future? So
Exactly.
um yeah, so that's what I'm like, it's gonna be a good time. He always just tells a good story. You can get along for the ride. He takes you with him. He doesn't seem like he's a jerk about it, and he just makes sure that you know what's going on, you have fun with it. And so like that's like the thing. Like I'm not a huge fan of King of the Hill, not because I don't like it, just haven't spent the time with it. But every time I have, I recognize that it's a good show that has like real quality to it, and like it just, it's heartwarming and then also it's like complete. it's wacky, and then also it's contained in realism. So like I just, you have to be you like just you recognize that it's a good show whether or not you like the show.
Right.
Yeah. Although it does seem like none of us actually got into the show.
Yeah, so
I
that's
mean,
the
that's the
whole.
thing, because like
We all do the same thing.
my roommate, she watches it like every day, all the time, goes to bed watching it. Like
it,
she's into the show, like she's into the show for real.
it that's how I was about that show as well. I just liked the sound of it. I didn't really even necessarily watch the show to see what was happening with the characters or like what happened. It was just they have this
Yeah,
really like even tone that goes up and down that like it's just fun to listen to.
yeah,
I watch a lot of movies that way. That I just like I'll put it on and just listen to it as a soundtrack or like a podcast or something. Just because like
yeah.
yeah.
I sorry,
Everybody's agreeing with
on
you
my
about the
sunflower
sunflower
seed.
seeds. If you guys want to give Jack another habit, comment below what that should be. If you think sunflower seeds are okay, also comment below. Because me
Yeah.
personally, I don't, whatever. But Jack seems to
They're gonna
think
be
he
like,
might.
no, sunflower seeds are human bird seed. No
Yeah,
one should eat
human
them. It's
mercy.
disgusting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Um, but what were we talking about before? I can't remember now.
uh,
Being a ghost,
yes,
going through space.
yes.
I said
Yeah,
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh, you did
We
it
got a
again.
King of the
it's
Hill
twice.
somehow.
Yeah,
King of the
King of the Hill.
Hill.
Yep.
And
How none of us were all
Yeah,
really into it, but we kind of appreciate the show exists,
I'm a
even
huge
though we were
drama guy.
weren't big fans of it. Yeah. Also, I mean,
I'm more of an Aquatine hunger for it.
I mean personally, like
And
I just adult cartoons. I'm like, yeah, they're fun, but like I have not really gotten into one that like I was all about. But
Mm.
also I watch super strange things that are completely random most times. So and it's not even a point of pride. It's just kind of like the way that it is. Hey, while you're
what's
there,
a show
do
that
you see
you've
the?
watched
Hang on one
that
second,
you
Aaron.
don't think
Hey,
other
Aaron,
people have?
one second.
Oh,
Do you see where his backpack touches the window, Jack?
Oh, I
There's
didn't know you were talking to me. Hold on a second.
yeah. Sorry. I'll since you're working on that
Do I see
panel.
where his backpack is touching the window? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's needs to be. Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Cool.
there needs to be shit there. I see.
Uh, I was gonna point it out, but yeah. Thank you for adding those panels in that previous one. And Aaron, sorry for cutting you off. I didn't want him to have to go back. What were you about to say, bud?
I was gonna ask. Well, as a new prompt, like, what's a TV show that you've seen
Oh,
that you don't think other people have?
TV show that I've
Like
seen that I
what?
don't think other people have. The first one that
Like that
comes to
you've got
my
into
mind
that it's obscure.
is
Uh,
Stephen King's Kingdom Hospital, but not the remake, the original Swedish version. It's like it ran for like 2 seasons. Have you guys heard of it? Did you know that it
No.
exists? Okay, so that's gonna be
What is
my
it called
vote.
again?
So I'm gonna put it up again. It's called Kingdom Hospital. And Stephen King
Okay.
was able to get funding to do a Swedish version of the movie, and so he did it. And then later he did an American version of the movie. But it's like actually like a serial, like it's about 2 seasons long. And I've seen it. I actually when Netflix was sending out discs, I was able to get it and watch it. Um, I wish Netflix would go back to that, but that's my vote right there. Good question, Aaron. Um, Jack, what do you think? What's something that you've seen, a show that you've seen you definitely don't think people have seen?
Uh, I mean, amongst this crew, probably haven't wouldn't have much. I mean, I've seen some definitely obscure like 80s sci-fi. Like I don't know if you guys saw the original series V.
I
Um,
saw a little bit of the reboot.
Yeah.
that's okay. That's
The
what I was thinking
reboot
of. Yeah,
made me the reboot made me download the original when it came out because I
nice.
wanted to rewatch it to like kind of have an idea of the story.
What'd you
And
think?
it was fascinating to see like how far television is just so much better these days, and that old V series really in some ways shows it. I mean, it was a compelling story, like don't get me wrong, like there's a reason that they rebooted it. Like it was popular for its time and it had a compelling story, but man, that show was boring as hell. But that's probably something that I bet a lot of people nowadays haven't haven't seen or don't remember.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair. Comment below if you have. Hey, are you where are you in this panel right now? Are
I just
you
got rid of some. Well, were you finished? I mean,
I
I'm just
wasn't
getting rid of some stuff in Windows. So,
okay, I wasn't trying to stop you if you're in the middle of something. There's another thing on this panel I want to point out to you.
oh, the door.
No, I like the door actually. The pink and gray. I'm glad you made that choice. I did watch
No,
some
no, no.
part of it.
I mean around the door here.
Is there, oh, the color?
Oh, yeah. I thought that was something you were going to point out.
No,
Sorry, I
it's
shouldn't try to get ahead of you like that.
it's
My
okay.
bad.
When you're like, hey, I'm done with this thing, then I did because I
You
don't
can
want
tell
to
me. You can tell
stop
me
you in the
right
flow.
now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna add some. There we go. I'm just gonna add some darkness onto these windows. So
Okay, cool.
you
So
can tell me what.
it's Richard's hand. It's been painted like the rest of his suit, but all the other times we see his hand,
Oh, you're
it's
right.
feathers. And we
Yeah,
did
you're
it in the
right.
sketch, and I meant to call it out in the sketch, and then I was like, no, we'll catch it later, and I never have, and or I've forgotten to remind you about it. Anyway,
Oh,
so I know you've done like a lot of coloring on it already, but yeah, just when you get a chance to do that.
oh no, yeah. I'll just. I mean, it's just gotta get turned white,
Yeah,
and
like it's
that's no big
not,
deal at all.
yeah. Oh, it's pretty much the same shape. But yeah, so Aaron, how about you? What show have you seen that the rest of us haven't seen?
Um, Strange Days at Blake Hole High. Like,
Wow,
it was
okay.
like a le- it was this Saturday afternoon show about like these group of kids in their science club, and there's all sorts of portals that randomly open up in their school.
What?
And yes,
It's called the Blake's Fair Science
Portals.
Club.
yeah, Strange Days at Blake Holsey High. Um, 2002 sci-fi, 4 seasons. Um,
Okay. And portals open up to where now?
like the past sometimes, sometimes the future. There was like an explosion, um, that killed one of the characters' mom. Uh,
What?
it was a really good show. Uh, I think I
Strange days.
watched most of it.
You said 2002 to 2006?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Wow. I mean, okay,
Oh,
wow.
Canadian kids show. Of course, it's Canadian.
Canadian
Canadian.
kid show.
Yeah, I think you were actually born Canadian, but they snuck you across the border and gave you to some parents in Ohio. Although they had to take your sister too because there was two of you and they didn't really plan on that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched so much Canadian kids television programming, dude, because Nickelodeon was mostly that
Okay, fair.
in the 80s. So, like, you can't do that on television. Classic Canadian television there.
Okay, gotcha. Right. It's a
Wait,
Canadian show.
Canadians told you what you couldn't see on television?
Oh
Like,
man.
you can't do that on television. I mean, Nickelodeon, I
No.
must agree with them.
I am a big
Yep.
fan of Kids in the Hall for sure. Um,
Oh, yeah. Love
I,
Kids in the Hall. People
I,
have definitely seen that show.
yeah, absolutely. So funny. A kid who is
Did you
I
guys
work with
watch
who
the,
is sorry,
yeah, did you guys watch the Amazon episodes?
the
The
ones that
season
just
that
came
did for
out.
Amazon? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, is it good? I remember it coming out. I didn't have the chance
They're
to see
not
it by chance.
bad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, if you know the old Kids in the Hall, I mean, it made me laugh my ass off. I don't know if it's like interesting to like, people that never watch the show, but
Um,
I think it's hilarious
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
no, for sure. And I know that they've been working as comedians for all the times that the show's been off also. So I know that they're on their game, right? Like they just,
Yeah.
they didn't stop doing it just because it wasn't a TV show. Um, so
Um, yeah, and I know that Dave Foley. I mean, most of the stuff that he's done that wasn't for network television has been like very raunchy. Like, he was in the movie Postal, the
okay.
Yui Bowl film. He was raunchy in that movie. Like, his dick was definitely out, I believe.
Oh geez. No,
So
Dave Foley is always a pleasant surprise when he pops up in the cast. I'm like, there's my boy. Like, how have you been? It's good to see you.
there's my baby boy.
Yeah, yeah, no, and he is really, I mean, he's always up to something. Like, he's gonna bring it because that's, how can he
Yeah.
not? Uh,
Like News
Oh yeah.
Radio was one of my favorite shows
there
Yeah,
you
at
News
that
go.
Radio
time.
was great. Love News Radio. I didn't really get into that show either. Kind of like a Key and Peele situation. I watched it, but it's never really one of my go-to shows. But it was very good. I definitely enjoyed it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to find this. This was on layer 8. I clicked on layer 8. Sorry, guys. You hear me talking to myself.
No, you always need to have someone who
Yeah.
agrees with you in the conversation. So, if we let you talk to yourself, then you get someone who's got your back. Now, Aaron, I want to
Yeah.
hear your
This.
opinion on this thought.
Sorry.
Because this actually comes up in your set. And I've been curious, do you think it's more important for a person to be kind or to be honest, and why?
Kind.
Why is that?
100%. I think that people uh oh people think that they're being more real when they're mean honest,
Hmm.
and it's not productive. Like
Okay.
it doesn't help create a good sense of community or bring us closer together.
So
So
the truth should be told in
if
a
you
way
can't,
that brings
like
us together.
I 100% believe if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
It's a good rule. It's definitely a
It
good rule.
it
like
is,
there
but
might there are exceptions to that,
okay, and
but
that's what I was
like
going to ask you about.
there are always exceptions to any rule and that sort of thing. But for the most part, like if you see somebody who needs kindness, extend kindness.
Which is all of us.
If if you are somebody that they can trust, then you can be honest.
Okay, so you're saying the first step is kindness, and
Yeah.
then when
Kindness
they're
leads to friendship. Friendship can lead to honesty.
gotcha. So you have to get to a level where you're honest, which is fair because you
Yeah,
don't really
where
know
you're
you don't know somebody very well when you first meet them.
yeah. So for your honesty to have its biggest impact, um, you have to show that you have their interests at your heart.
Yeah, you have to have
That can only be
I was
done through
thinking like
kindness.
a legacy of kindness. Yeah. Like in order for honesty to actually be valuable. So yeah, I've thought
Yeah,
that, right? Like even if you're honest with somebody, if they're not willing to hear it, you're just wasting your time, right? And so the
yeah,
only way to like help somebody to like tell them the truth is to by first being kind to them. And so they're like
yeah.
they ask like, why are you
People
kind,
can
right?
be yelling truth, what they believe is the truth at each other all day, and it will do nothing.
True.
But if we show kindness to each other, then maybe what we have to say will have some value to them.
Right, like build healthier communities, build safer places for women and minorities and overlooked people, so that they have
Everyone,
safe places to be. Yeah,
everyone
right.
needs kindness.
The corporation, which is not a person, does not take advantage of all the people.
Yeah,
Yeah, and even the people who run those things blindly, they also need kindness. Recognize that they're people, and then the encouragement that like, please, like, help the people who are starving.
yep.
Give us trickle up economics, so that
Yeah.
we can support.
Let all times be treat time.
Yeah, let all times be true times, as we call out the conclusion of episode 2, which I guys hope you are tuning in for these episodes because I'm definitely excited about it. By the time this episode posts, it'll be done and posted. So be on the lookout for that. We are coming in the last 20 minutes. So Aaron, do you have any
Yeah. Sorry, I was taking a little break here.
you gonna do what you do.
Apologies.
One of the things I realized I was like, we should call out is that Jack is in a recreational state. So, as it is, it's the same equivalent as drinking beer. So I don't know what the internet rules are about that, but my guy is
I don't think
totally,
there's I don't
totally
think
within
there are any.
his rights and clauses for the coverage
Yeah.
of all that. But
I let people know. I let people know. It's fine.
um,
Um,
so that's awesome. It's going to take us a little bit longer, probably with these smaller details. I have a few more things to like look at. They're all pretty small, um, but
yeah.
we'll just work through them within this week, and then next week is probably what it's going to take. But I know there's more things that you're like. Also, these little details I want to put in, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you the opportunity to do those too, because I know
Oh yeah. No.
you
No.
see things that I don't, which I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, like get
Well,
it done.
like no, like I am, hoping that there are things that you see that I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
what?
that's yeah,
What?
that's the entire intention behind it. Is I've gone back and double checked. I like double watched the videos because I've been putting in chapters and stuff like that. Which guys, comment if you like the chapters. If not, I can also not not do those. But I think they're fun because it's about the topics that we're talking about. You kind of get the idea of what it is before reading it or watching the video. But so yeah, I've been noticing stuff during that time that I missed, like while we were sitting down and going over the stuff. Um, you know,
Oh,
just
what, dude?
trying to do
I'm
the
a
Disney thing
freaking.
where we push it further towards quality. That was pretty cool. That
I'm
was
a
like abstract. That
freaking.
was like an Andy Warhol interpretation of the Cox in space. All right, cracking jokes.
No.
Maybe it's a little late in the evening to do that, but
Um, yeah, just put like a blue filter and a red filter, whatever. And then
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it'll be Andy Warhol.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, Andy Warhol. That like kind of filter like that.
Yeah. Then we can all have some soup.
So one of my favorite Andy Warhol facts is that he would take a dump into cans and seal them up and sell them to people as fine art. And he made, because that's what he was doing. He's like basically anything is art if it's sold by a person. Like, not a huge fan of Andy Warhol's, whatever his philosophy is. on art and
Pop
consumerism.
art.
But yeah,
Is
pop
that
art.
where Banana Guy got his idea?
It's yeah, that's where we've seen a lot of trends in the art world, in my opinion,
No, I'm pretty sure
from this
Banana Guy got
concept.
his idea from Duchamp. Like, it wasn't that the guy that did the toilet?
Here's the thing, though, is that Andy Warhol's shit in cans, as it broke down over time, would let out gases, and suddenly the gases weren't contained within the can anymore. They would explode outwards at one point, sending shrapnel, everywhere in the art gallery, like flinging shit onto the
Oh, he was
walls of
trying to
like
off motherfuckers.
art gallery and stuff like that. I don't know if that was an intentional thing or just a byproduct of his byproduct. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
I doubt
mean,
he considered the science of it.
I
that
don't
would
really
be an
think.
interesting legal argument. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, like the can exploded and it went right into his brain and it killed him. I mean,
right.
like
Yeah,
I don't know if that
exactly.
was the intention though, Your Honor. I mean, he just
Right.
gave him the can full of his shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean,
Because you
Andy
have no way
Warhol
of
is a
knowing
dumbass,
like
right?
how long it takes to dissolve,
Yeah, and for
like
those gases to expand. Yeah,
that
exactly.
would be why that
or
would be
who's going to be in that
wild.
room, where it's
That would
kept.
be a wild take. That would be a wild take.
So, I mean, I have a very opposing view of that. I believe that art is following a muse, but it's with a deliberate intention to express that muse as clearly as
Yeah.
possible to your audience. Like that's, so it's not just like whatever you can put a price tag on, which seems that was
Art
what,
is not a product. It never
yeah,
has been a product.
right.
Although art should make people uncomfortable. I do believe that. That's kind of like a personal rule that I have. I wouldn't say that's like a hard rule for all art, but
You are
I
trying to invoke a reaction. Yeah, 100%. If art's
yeah,
not
you need
moving
a
people,
reaction.
then it's not quite done yet.
You need to move people, and that requires there to be like something there that has gravitas. Like something that
Yeah,
has its
truth.
own like center of gravity.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I think that people have really bitten down on the idea that art is a commodity, um, and that it's a product. I think there are people that would. I think there are artists that would fight for that interpretation, and I
Right.
really, you know, I really that's one thing that I really go hard against with every fiber of my being. Like, I think if we start calling art a product, then we've really devalued what made us, like, make cave paintings and decide that it was an important
100%.
art.
Yeah, I got to spend time with my
Yeah,
family recently, and one of the coolest things I found out about all of them is that in their free time, whenever they have time on their hands, they're always making something. Like my aunt is
okay,
she's an amazing artist in a way that I haven't seen. Like she's doing a completely unique thing that's super powerful, and she's just using like rusted pieces of metal that she finds in the desert, and then putting them together in an aesthetic way um, and use of color and stuff like that. I took some pictures and posted them on my Insta if anyone's interested in looking at them. Um, but yeah, like, and she, she's not trying to become famous from it. Like, she's not trying to sell them. She just does it because she wants to make her space more beautiful and she has the ability to do it. And so like for her
right,
to be like, dude, why aren't you commodifying your art? Is to kind of be like blasphemous to the whole reason that it exists to begin with, because the purpose of it is
right,
for it to be beautiful for her, right? Just so that she enjoys her space. Um,
right.
so and then at the same time, right, like she is not a working artist, which is a thing you have to do if you want to keep doing it. You have to get paid to do it.
Yeah,
So that's why, with
yeah,
Cox and Space, our goal is to make money with it because we want to see it
right.
continue to go. But
Well,
to say that's the
some of it
only way
is a
to do
commodity.
art, yeah, some art is
Yeah,
for the
I
purpose of
mean,
selling, but not all not
like
all art is. Yeah,
small A art is a
there you
commodity,
go.
but like art with
Yeah,
a big A is
yeah,
not a
no.
commodity.
And then,
Or
yeah, it can
can't
exist.
be.
Yeah, the big A can exist in the little a, but you have to have like an
Yeah.
understanding of what the big A is, like how to express things in order to make that um, worthwhile commodification, I suppose.
Well, I mean, again, it's not like commodification is bad. It's just not
No,
what art is.
right.
Like,
Yeah, it's not standalone. That's not
it's
what it is.
yeah, it's bad to turn art into that because
Just that.
it's creating, new there's new duties for the like the truth essentially. Like art is like a
Beavis and
part of
Butthead said he said
humanity.
duty.
Yeah, like art is a part of humanity searching for truth,
Yeah.
like,
Long before
and
there was
like
commerce for it.
to turn that into necessarily a product is to shoot yourself in the dick for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, I understand people need to get paid for the artwork that they make. I mean, again, that's another byproduct of capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I'm
but
not trying to deny that at
I
all.
call this piece shooting myself in the dick.
Shooting myself in the dick.
sorry, I have very strong opinions about art as a commodity. So
100%. No,
apologies.
and that's exactly the same. And then also, I wanted to stress that I'm not saying that you should not pay artists because artists do need to get paid. And it is a craftsman's work that you're paying for. But also, there is a beauty in the self-expression that humans have and wanting to express things that doesn't need to be purchased. That and exists in all humans is an argument that we've been making all week, and all the different shows.
Yeah,
What'd you do, buddy? Because it's innate in people, that we enjoy creating things. And some people have had that beaten out of them or been taught that that's not viable. But like 100%, I think that's what is true with things that live on the planet.
Yeah.
So Aaron, we are in
yeah,
about the last 10 minutes. You have a show coming up on what, August 1st, August 7th?
Yeah, I've got a show August 1st doing Cause
Okay.
and Effect. My hour at Crackpot's Comedy Club in Massillon,
Oh, you said that you're headlining,
Ohio.
but I didn't realize it was an hour. I think you've mentioned it before, but I didn't think about that. Wow. Okay. So cool. If you guys want to catch Cause and Effect, the special that we were talking about, it's taking some time to get edited. You can see it live in Crackpot's in Ohio, right?
Yep.
What's the
Yeah,
name of the
near
city?
Akron, Ohio.
Okay, near Akron, Ohio. We also have some special guests that are coming up on July 11th. Sean Will is coming to join us for our very first animated show where we're going to start working on animation together with Francisco. And we're calling that Flicking with Frank, because we're working on the movie part of it. But yeah, Sean Will is coming with us. It's YouTube at Sean Will Comedy on YouTube if you want to check it out. I did drop it in the chat previously in the artwork. So if you guys want to check him out, I think he's pretty funny. I'm pretty excited to talk with him. Also, we have Lisa Green, who's going to be reading episode 2 with us. She's going to be coming in for Chloe and for Kiwi, I believe. She's going to come stop by, and she's going to be on Drawing with Jack on July 15th. So Lisa Green is a very smart comedian as well as a writer for Gander Newsroom. So I'm excited to talk to her. She was on the Very Good podcast. I heard her there and was she's excited for both her opinion and her personality. So looking forward to that. And then we have some people coming up in August as well. Jock Sloss. If you're interested, you can always connect with us on Facebook. Facebook, I believe, at Cox and Space. You can search on Facebook for Cox and Space, spelled COX, I believe, in space. So you can find that and come on to the podcast or become a voice for the show. As Logan likes to point out, you can always become a producer for the show by going to Patreon, which you can get to at coxinspace.com, coxinspace.com, and then that it gives you producing rights to the show, and we get to talk about what's happening and what we're doing, color choices, all those sorts of things that are fun. So keep tuning in with us. We are going to be here on Thursday with Jack. Right, buddy?
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I'm excited about it.
And then
And
can
Jack,
we actually switch to Tuesday, Thursday?
you
Is
want to go
that
permanent Tuesday and Thursday? That's awesome. I'm excited about that. It seems like we're kind of going that way.
yeah.
So yeah, you've heard it here first. Tuesday, Thursday is the new schedule for Drawing with Jack, which is good. Praise the Lord, because we're giving him the Sabbath back. So or whatever. I am thankful for you guys in continuing to do this project and anyone who is hearing, who are fans of the project as much as we are, because it's just it gets cooler all the time. We see it develop from nothing. There's some
Yeah.
time lapse coming up, and this page is just about done, so we're finally going to get to see page one and page two develop. So I want to do them side by side, so you get to watch both pages develop at the same time. So it'll be a real blast
Yeah.
for sure on the video. But yeah, until
It's gonna
Thursday.
be great. It's gonna be a great day when we start page three. Like I'm
Do
feeling
you,
like I'm like getting like, especially seeing page one. Like I just feel like we're getting it. Like it's
yeah, hell yeah. And look at page two also, right? Like, I mean, let's take time just to celebrate that fact because it's a good thing. You know, Look at that. It was just a
yeah,
sketch not too long ago, and now it's almost completed. Like, it's just like, and it's keeping its palate and its fat pussies just like we want on the beach. The pecker is chilling on the beach. The
yeah.
gravity
It
wells.
really looks like a
Yeah.
all right.
So
Well,
you guys, any closing thoughts at
guys,
all? Jack, do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share? Pearls of wisdom from your corner.
um, Animaniacs is an excellent cartoon that would be a wonderful world to live in, and I'm glad that Koz chose it first.
True, true. Also,
Yeah.
you're in Chicago right now, where it is the probably the best weather you've seen in months, correct?
Except for the air quality, which is some of the worst in the whole nation.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, take
That's
care of
because of the
yourself, but
Canadian
enjoy the
wildfires.
sunshine. Wildfires from where?
Canada. Yeah.
Oh God, not again. I didn't realize that. Wow. So thoughts and prayers for Canada, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But also, God damn, guys, we got to stop burning up the planet. Even Canada is on fire, and Canada is mostly snow, isn't it? Can we
You're not
stop it
supposed to be able
before
to
it's
burn
too late?
through.
Right?
They they said that the doomsday clock, which is, getting closer and closer to midnight, has fallen below the first minute. And somebody called out that when someone's like, I'm gonna give you the count of three. One, two, two and a half, two and three quarters. Like we're like, y'all are fucks. We're all fucks. Can we please back it up in time? Anyway, nice. That's the doomsday clock
Let's
for you.
go back to the future.
Let's go back if we can. All right, cool, my dudes. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you. We'll see you on Thursday or whenever you see this. You'll catch it later.